Well, Tashaun, thank you for joining us today. And we wanted to recognize you every year. Each of the 32 NFL teams' media chapters select a player or players who are the best to the media in their respective markets in terms of cooperation, in terms of working with us, and in terms of doing your best to help us do our jobs. And this year, as I think you've been told, we actually ended up with a tie because you and a teammate were so outstanding. And it was with almost everybody in the room casting a vote. And you guys were pretty much the runaway winners. And there's also something else special about this year. Unfortunately, as you may have heard, we lost a member of our group just last week. His name is Jeff Dickerson. And if anybody in the history of media has represented the term or the phrase good guy, it was JD. He just absolutely meant a ton to all of us. I know that he was great with all the players as well. And so in honor of Jeff, we have renamed our award the Chicago Media Jeff Dickerson Good Guy Award. And it is my pleasure to get to present it first to you this afternoon.
I do appreciate you guys for this, man. It's an honor. Truly, I think that it's an honor, man, to have that type of relationship with you guys, to be able to come in here and answer the questions and just have that communication back with you guys. So I appreciate y'all for voting for me, man. This gonna go in my office, so another hardware, man, for me in my office, man. But I truly, genuinely, I appreciate this, man, and it's my pleasure getting in front of you guys, talking to you guys every week. So I appreciate this honor again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Tashaun. All right, we can go ahead and get started with questions then for you. So first question, Dan Reeder.
Tashaun, I have two. First, just to follow up on that, when you were first getting into the league, how did you sort of get your bearings on the media landscape in the NFL world? And did you have any mentors that kind of helped you into this?
I think just dating back to college, it just was just something that I would just watch. And obviously you would look at your peers and the guys that come before you. I had guys, I locked next to a guy named Andrew Hawkins. He's in the younger in my career. He's obviously a guy that's in the media forefront, and, he's lights out. So having guys around me like that, to see firsthand of kind of how they conduct their business, how they handle the media. Sometimes not every question is going to be a favorable question that you enjoy answering, man. But to see guys like that around me in the younger part of my career, man, we had those old school vets in Cleveland back in my day. To see that firsthand and witness that, man, you begin to understand how you conduct yourself, man, and be a professional when it comes to talking to the media, no matter the subject, no matter the situation. So having those type of guys, I think I looked up to and I admired, man, and seeing like, man, this guy he is well spoken. He is the way that he addresses them and those things, man, I'm right there seeing them all the time. So it was just a blessing to be able to see those type of things as I was coming up.
Yeah, to echo Hub's sentiments, we've really appreciated your candor. On the field, obviously, in the last few weeks, defensively, with a lot of moving parts and a lot of odd things happening, you guys have played pretty well. I'm curious what you make of this closing stretch and kind of what your hopes for the finale are.
Honestly, we talked about this week in and week out, man. It's obviously we're not in a playoff hunt, but, it's all about how you finish, man. You playing with pride. And I think we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. At the end of the day, we're professional athletes. We're paid to do a job, no matter if we're 2-13 or 6-10 or in playoff contention or not in playoff contention. You have a job to go out there and do, and that's what we plan on doing. And I just think that guys is just we caught our stride at the wrong time of the year. Obviously, we would have liked to have been playing this type of defense, obviously, weeks ago. But at the end of the day, it's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. Unfortunately, right now we're not where we want to be from just a team perspective. But who says you can't go out there, man, in the season on a high note? And that's our plan right now. We got Minnesota in front of us, and that's our objective right now. We're excited about the challenge.
Question, Mark Potash.
Hey, Tashaun. One of the reasons why you're the good guy winner, I think, is because you've always been good about addressing other players, and you have a good perspective on the team. So I feel like you're a good guy to ask this question. And I know you're a Jalen Johnson fan, but who on this defense has impressed you the most as far as looking to the future? I mean, Gibson has been good. Jalen Johnson, Tonga. You're pretty observant. What do you see as kind of something for the future that you think, hey, regardless of what your future or anybody's future is with the Bears, what do you think about, somebody who's really made an impression on you that you think has a long-term future with the Bears on defense?
It's hard to say. It's hard to just give you one name because it's a lot of the younger guys, man, that you just see, and you say, man, this guy gonna be a good player for this team or any team in this National Football League for a long time. You look at guys like Thomas Graham, I think is going to be a really good player. He was able to get his starts late in the season. And for a guy to come in and play that way, obviously it's exciting. You have guys like Tunga and Trev Gipson, man. We probably cousins, man. Now I can finally say we probably cousins. He has done enough out there now where honestly, no, but you got a guy like Trev, man, who just made huge strides, man, from the time we walked in a building last year to now, man. And I think that next year is going to be even a phenomenal year, man. He's getting his feet wet. He's playing with confidence, and that's beautiful to see. But, man, I'm a Jalen Johnson fan, man, until I go out this thing. I told y'all in the beginning of the year, man, I thought that he was going to be a top 5 corner. And in my opinion, man, from a technique standpoint, from a physical standpoint, man, there's just not many corners that can do what he do. So, it's like it's like an old broken record that I'm gonna say it, man. Say it again, man. Next year he's gonna be a top 5. I believe in the work that he put in, a humble young dude, and he's gonna continue to ascend, man. I think that he's gonna exceed expectations. Now I think that he's got his feet where people kind of is like, man, this is a good player. But I think that he's going to take that step next year to really put himself into that category of, we're the best of the best, and he's going to be talked about amongst that, man. I see it personally in person day to day, and I'm a fan of him, man. And long when I'm gone, man, I expect to hear his name up there with some of the best.
Thanks for all your help.
Hey, Tashaun, as you guys are kind of wrapping up the season, what has stood out to you about the job that Coach Desai has done?
I've always been a fan of Sean, man, from the time he got the job when I spoke to you guys to now. I think that, just a lot of parts you're dealing with COVID. I think that for me, you see games like Minnesota when the whole secondary is depleted. You have a beat up defense, and to go out there and hold a team like Minnesota who have a good passing game, with Kirk Cousins playing at a high level. He's playing good football this year. Obviously, Jefferson is a top 3 receiver in the league. And for us to go out there and hold those guys under 100 yards total passing, and for us to go out there and hold the run game the way that we did. Dalvin Cook was coming off of a monster game, and, we held him, and we pretty much held him in check. Those are the things that you see from Sean, man, that you just have to say, man, how happy you are for a guy like that, man, because it's just Sean putting us in positions to do what we need to do at the end of the day. And that's just the things that we expected out of Sean, man. I knew he was a bright guy, man, coming into this. So you can't tip your head enough to a guy like Sean, man, for the job that he's been doing with a healthy defense. Without a healthy defense, man, he has just been putting us in situations to make plays. And that's why we've been hitting our stride in the last part of the season.
Next question, Andy Siegelman.
Tashaun, I'm just wondering if there are any lingering ill will or anything from the last game when things got kind of a little chippy there.
Honestly, it's nothing that's been said. I think that the task at hand is for us to go out and obviously get a win first and foremost. But I don't think that it's any ill will. If it is, it's not nothing that we have harped about. It's nothing that we've talked about in great deal. Maybe it's been personal conversations, but it's nothing that's been brought to everybody's attention. So, we understand that it's just another game for us to go out there, another opportunity to go out there and win a football game.
Last question, Dan Wiederer.
Tashaun, we didn't talk to you after Sunday's game, and so I wanted you to take us through the interception. And then when you watched it back, did you see, was there an avenue for you to get all the way across the goal line?
First, we was in cover 1, obviously, man, single high. There's intermediate route team. We wasn't too much worried about Glennon taking a shot. Obviously, their main target was Galladay. He's the only healthy receiver. So, I just flat-footed, play about 16 yards, 17 yards deep, ready to break on anything downhill because we understood that the vertical threats was probably not going to be a factor, especially that early in the game. He was going to try to get a rhythm pass and get things done. And, Artie made a huge play. Like I told Artie, man, tips and overthrows, we got to get all of those. And he tipped the play. And, it's just right position, right time. Obviously, Had to go make a play on the ball. It wasn't as easy, but, once I made a play on the ball, now the return, people would like to say that I got tackled by a quarterback. But when y'all talk to anybody else, just tell them to not watch me run the football and tell them to go block somebody, and I would make Mike Glennon miss. Mike Glennon would never tackle me one-on-one like that. But it wasn't blocking, and it was a tight space. So maybe when y'all talk to Rob, ask Rob who was he blocking on that play. I don't know, man. But no, it was just a fun play, man. And obviously it's always exciting to get turnovers.